So without further ado, I would like to bring him to the stage. Not only one of the great living writers, and remember Mark Twain's dead, someone's got to point this shit out, but also one of the great gentlemen of the world, Mr. Joe R. Lansdale.
Yes. Yes.
Why? Do you have an affinity for people who live in nursing homes, or why the setting?
Well, the story was set in the nursing home, and it was a combination of different things. Is that my mother was in a terrible accident and had to be in a nursing home. She had to have 24/7. She had brain injury, actually. So when I was there, I would listen to the conversations, which were mostly about sex and going to the bathroom. And you know, you think of the rest home, it's this place where everybody sits around and just sits in a chair, but it isn't. And people forget that getting old doesn't end, you know, your thoughts and your desires and your needs, and in fact, you feel like that you're just kind of put aside to die. The mummy thing, I'd always liked mummy pictures, and I'd always wanted to write one. And I made up this title once as a joke called Bubba Hotep, because of Imhotep from the Mummy movies, and from some historical records too. And so I had that, and John Kennedy, you know, was a first president I actually remember after. I remember Eisenhower, but mainly I remember he played golf. I grew up on Elvis Presley. I hate to say it, but I was there at the birth of rock and roll on the radio, you know, and I'm sure there might be a few people in here. No, y'all look too young. But anyway, the Elvis Presley thing was there. My brother lived in Memphis and actually knew Elvis peripherally and recorded at Sun Records somewhere around the same time with considerably less success. So those things were all in the background, and so the rest home was there.
And on a movie of such a low budget, it was under $1 million for the entire movie, including the shoot and post-production and an answer print. You know, so that was really ambitious.
Yeah, it's about 50 cents.
I think the shoot itself was something like 200, 300 grand.
Yeah, I don't know what his final thing. He'd always say, "Don't tell anybody that it only cost this much." And this, but well, he's Steve told now. So, no, but Don's the kind of guy though that can make 50 cents look like, you know, a lot of money. And so if you think that picture looks low budget, ha. Like the craft services, that was like simple too. Everything was just cheap as it could be.
When we were visiting the set, it was like, by the time it was over, the craft service table was down to like one bag of potatoes.
Probably my son ate that. He on the other one, my son went to the craft table, got all excited, ate like a pig, got sick, and missed one of the days of filming, you know, because he was so ill.
It was Crucifix Road, too.
Yeah, the thing he most wanted to see, you know. So I always remind him, oh, that's that scene you didn't get to see. Yeah. You know, to tell you the truth, I don't really know. The reason all I know is that Don was trying to get it to work and may still be trying to get it to work, but the last I heard it was dead, and Bruce has made a statement that he's definitely not in the sequel. Paul Giamatti and who was it? Ron Perlman were supposed to be in it. That's the internet news, and that's still on. It just has not happened, and I don't really have anything to do with it. But there is a script. Yeah, Steve wrote a script with Don, I believe. Y'all wrote it together, or did you write it?
I wrote it from his story.
You wrote it from his story. That means he wrote the script.
Yeah.
And so that's where that stands at the moment.
He's still trying to get it made, but he's got other stuff going on too.
Yeah.
It's not really a high priority.
Yeah.